everyone, welcome back. In this video let's talk about application gateway. So for this specific lab I have created different resource group. In this case to create a resource group you can just click create and add the relevant name here. So application gateway, and you can just review and create it. So basically the reason for creating a different resource group every time is it will be easier to delete the resources whenever the lab is completed. So that is the reason I'll be using a separate resource group for all the labs. So let's click the resource group. So these are the different resources that has been created. So initially let's go ahead and create the virtual network. So let's create. So before that let me show you what the architecture is. So if you click here, so this is the architecture that we are going to build. So we are going to create a network in which we'll be adding our virtual machines, two different virtual machines, and which will be connected to our application gateway. So we'll be looking into that in the coming labs. So let's click create, and let's add a virtual network first. So let's click the virtual network. Not sure why it's taking time. Okay, so let's click virtual network, click create, and make sure that you have appropriate subscription here, and you see the default group. Make sure you add the resource group that you have created. Let's add it as vnet1, and let's go to the IP address. You see right now we have one default, so make sure you change that. I'm following the docs, so I'm just changing accordingly. So in this case the subnet would be my AG subnet. So click here, and instead of default just add this one. So it is done, and the next one is you have to add my backend subnet as well. So for that let's click create, and the other one, let me add my backend subnet. My backend subnet, and just add it. So we have created two different subnets here. So once it is done, just review and create it. So it will be done. So let me go back and let me show you the virtual network. Where is it? VNet. So you see, so we have created these two different subnets, and this is our address space. So once that is done, let's go ahead and create our application gateway. So let's click create and search for application gateway and click create. So if you talk about application gateway, Azure application gateway is a web traffic load balancer that helps to manage and distribute incoming traffic to multiple backend servers. So that is what we're gonna configure in this video. So make sure you have appropriate subscription, and make sure the resource group is also the one that you have created. So it's the one, and you can just add it as app gateway. So I'm just using the random words here. So make sure the region, which is East US. So, and coming to the tires, you have different tires, and every tire has its own value. So if we talk about the standard, so the first one, so the standard tire provides basic web application load balancing capabilities, SSL offloading, cookie based session affinity, and URL based routing. That is what the first standard provides. And if you talk about the standard version 2, so this tire includes all the features of standard tire with improved performance, auto scaling, and addition features as header rewrite, URL redirect, and as well as health probes. So that is what it provides. So that's the reason we are selecting the second one. And if you talk about the WAF, so WAF is nothing but a web application firewall. So WAF tire includes all the features of standard tire as well as additional security features as web application firewall, bot protection, and application layer monitoring. So that is what WAF provides. Whereas if you talk about the next one, WAF 2, it includes all the features of standard version 2 tire as well as additional security features as web application firewall, bot protection, and application layer monitoring. So that is what it is. So we'll be selecting the second one, and we'll be selecting next one is enable auto scaling. So in this case we'll be enabling yes. So basically enabling auto scale in Azure Application Gateway means that the application gateway can dynamically adjust its capacity based on the current load on your web application. So this helps to optimize the performance and cost, as you only pay for the resources you need to handle the current traffic volume. That is what it is. And next one we have minimum instance count and maximum instance counts. So you see minimum is 0 and maximum is 10. So basically the minimum instance count is the number of instances that will always be running. So while the maximum instance count is a maximum number of instances that can be created when the traffic demands it. So by setting these values appropriately, we can ensure that the application gateway can handle the expected traffic volume while keeping the costs under control. So that is what these two difference. And availability, let's say it's none, and disable. And coming to virtual network, you can select the one that you have created, my VNet, or you can create my VNet, or instead of that you can just create a new virtual network. So you have that flexibility, so you can directly come to the application gateway and you can just create your virtual network in which this application layer should be attached. Or you can create a virtual network before and you can add the relevant subnets and then create. So based on your preference you can add it, but usually when I was creating it, it was only taking the default one, so I have to add 2 different subnets. So that's the reason I just go back and add in the virtual network. So let's discard it and let's go to the next section, which is front ends. So let's select next. And here we make sure that it's public, and since we don't have any public IP initially when you do it, you will be not having, so just add it and add the public IP name. So just add public IP and let's click OK. And once this is done, let's go to the next, which is backend. So let's go back next, and here let's add the backend pools. So you see backend pool is a collection of resources to which your application gateway can send traffic. So a backend pool can contain virtual machines or virtual machine scale sets, app services, IP address, and fully qualified domain names. So in this case, we'll be going ahead with the virtual machines, which we'll be creating in, once this is done, we'll be creating that. So since we have not yet created virtual machines, we'll add a backend pool, but we'll not add the resources to that. So we can add backend pool and add the resource without targeting. So that's the reason yes. So you can see the option has been vanished. So if that is no, you have to add this. So you can click virtual machine and you can add the relevant virtual machine. Right now I have it, but let me show how this is done, because when I was creating a virtual machine, I was getting an error where I was not able to install the web server on it. So let me show you how I encountered that error and how that is solved. So I'll be showing in a minute. So just keep it yes and add, and let's go to the next one, which is configurations tab. So click configuration. So you see you have front-end IP, in which the one that you have added, and in this case we'll be adding the routing rule. So click add, and just add the name, and coming to the priority, the less the priority, the more importance it is. So I'll just add 100 according to the docs. And coming to the listener name, let me add it as my listener, and public 80, and let's keep it everything as a basic, and let's add it. Oh, we have to also configure backend targets. So let's go to the backend targets, and here you can see the one we have also created the backend pools just before. So click here, add the backend pool, and coming to the backend settings, you can click here. So right now we don't have any, so we'll be adding a new one. So add new one, and just add that as backend settings, and you can just click add. It's done, and you can click add. So you have added the rules here. So once this is done, the only thing that you have to do is review and create it. So that is how you will be creating this application gateway. So but in this case I'll be not creating that since I've already created it. So if I go back, so this is the gateway that has been created. So we have created application gateway. So if we go to the resource visualizer, so we have created all this architecture. We have just created this virtual network, but we have not added the virtual machines to it. So we only added this virtual network, and for this there is a application gateway which is connected, right? So we have only these connection, and we have other connections as well, but we don't, mainly we have these two connection. So now we have to add virtual machines, and we have to add that virtual machines to the backend pools, so that whenever we are trying to access those public IP of this application gateway, it should be accessed. For that we have to install a web server, which we'll be looking into. So coming to this video, we'll be limiting to these configurations. In the next video we'll be adding our virtual machines and also installing the web server on it, and we'll be connecting it to our application gateway, and we'll test whether it's working properly or not. So coming to this video, I hope you guys have understood the concept of today's video. If you've liked the video, please click the like button below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please share the video. Thanks everyone.